Dan Perry here with another Dan on Tech Active Directory video for Northeast State Community College. We have looked at how we can add users through either the Active Directory users and computers or through the Administrative Center. Well, there are other ways of adding users, and one is via the command prompt. So if you open a command prompt as an administrator, and you have to be a domain administrator, there's a tool called the DSAdd command. And if you do DSAdd with no parameters, you'll get a help. And if I scroll up, it tells me I can add computers, contacts, groups, OUs, users, or quotas. And then it gives me a little bit more information. It says, hey, if I want more information on some similar commands such as dsget, mod, move, I can also look at those. If I do DSAdd and do users, but do a /? For help, I get the help for that command. And if I scroll up, it tells me a short description, and it tells me, okay, the syntax of it is DSAdd, user, then the user's distinguished name. That's required. So I can actually add a user with just those three parameters. The optional parameters are their SAM ID, UPNs, first names, middle initials, and if I look through, there's a lot of optional information I can put. Scrolling on down, I see what the description of some of these are. So I can look if I'm not sure. Some are easy. F name for first name, that makes sense. LN for last name. PWD for password. So as you go down, you can see there are a lot of things that you can do for the commands. And at the very end, it gives you a little bit more explanation of how we can use them. Well, what I have done is I've created a line of the command, since my typing's not the greatest, and we'll look and see what I have put here in this command. I've increased the size of the font, so it's going to scroll off the screen, and so I'm going to have to scroll across. I'm going to start with the DSAdd command, then user, I'm adding a user. Then I have to give that distinguished name. So in quotes, doesn't have to be in quotes, but it's a good idea to do it, because if in the common name or OUs there are any spaces, then you would get an error if you don't use quotes. I said the common name is a good user. In the organizational unit, my users. In the domain, my.local. And you put each portion of the domain name separated, DC equals, and then commas going bottom to top. If I had a organizational unit under an organizational unit, I would have the lowest level first. Now, if I don't put an organizational unit, it will put it in that users folder that's automatically created. Then I said the user's principal name is a good user. That is the field that is going to contain or be used for their login name. Then I've given the first name and last name and a password in this case. I could have given additional information. I could have, for example, said disabled and said no, indicating that the account was enabled, and a number of other things that we saw in that list. I'm going to select all and copy this, and I'm going to come over and paste it, and when I run it, it says the DSAdd succeeded. If I now go into my Active Directory users and computers and refresh, I'll see that user is there. If I click and right-click on it, select and right-click, I can see in the name, the first and last name are filled in. There wasn't anything in the address, the account. Here's their names, user principal name for login. Hours and things were not set. The account expires is not set. I didn't set any telephones, organizations, members. They're automatically part of the domain users, but no other membership. I could have set group memberships and other things during that command. Now, you're looking and you're saying, well, I could have gone through the GUI and I could have done that a lot quicker. You're right. But what I could do is I could create a spreadsheet that had all this information about multiple users. And I could create a script that would go through, I could save that spreadsheet as a text file, and I could create a script that went one line at a time through that file and added those users. So I could add hundreds of users in a very short period of time by having it go through that file one at a time and execute this ds-add user command. There are a number of other commands we can use from the command prompt for adding users, but I find the ds-add command seems to be the best one. Even though there are a number of other commands that can be used from a command prompt to add users, I found the ds-add command is the best one to work with, again because of the ease of scripting it and adding users using a text file. Thank you for watching this Dan on Tech video for Northeast State Community College. Please subscribe to this playlist so you don't miss future videos.